There are a lot of very common skin conditions that you'll see throughout film and TV world, also theatrical productions. And we have been through a good bit of them today, but one more that I'm going to show you is how to make it look like someone has a sunburn. So having a sunburn is an easy way that people will add a layer of either comedy or drama into a script. I find comedy is my favorite way to see a sunburn, so my version of doing sunburn has to go with the sunglasses. So what you want to do is get the sunglasses that the actor is going to be wearing and have them put it directly on their face. Go ahead, put those on for me. So then from there, we're going to imagine that she spent all day at the beach, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a brush here with our alcohol makeup. I like a fluffy brush for this. And remember, it's a sunburn, so it's a fairly red tone, but we don't want to go straight red again. Remember, there's still some pink to it. So what we're going to do is slightly outline the outside of where these sunglasses are. It's almost like a stencil. And again, we're working in very thin layers here. And you see I'm not just painting a straight line, I'm tapping around so it has an imperfect edge. You don't want to give it that straight perfect edge, otherwise it again takes the realism out. So tap around where it's meant to be. And this is one of those times that you can really kind of over-dramatize what you're doing. If you're familiar with working with an airbrush, this is an easy way to put something on and then airbrush around it. When you take it off, you have the imprint of the image. So now that we have this outline, go ahead, take the sunglasses off for me. We know where we want it to go. Now we can fill in the remainder and have the outline as if she was sitting on the beach all day long with these sunglasses on. So what I'm going to do is take one of our ripped up edge sponges, and with that same tone, we're going to muddle it around. It's not going to be the same in every area, of course, as it's not going to burn in an even sense. Now a sunburn is a bit more of an even covering than the rest of the stuff that we've been doing. And there will be key areas that are brighter, like the nose is going to be much more red than anywhere else because it does hit the sun the most. The forehead is going to be another area that's going to be a bit brighter than everywhere else. And sometimes it doesn't actually go all the way into the hairline with a sunburn. It kind of gives a little strange ring around the outside. And also, depending on the level of sunburn that you're meant to create, will depend on how many layers of this that you go through. So if they've been in the sun for a very long time, you're going to want to really load it up a lot more. You're also going to want to go over the lips as well. Think of also how they were laying. Were they laying on their back when they got the sunburn? If so, it's going to be focused on this part of their body. If they were laying on their left side, it'll be focused on that part of their body, so on and so forth. So depending on how they're going to be in the scene will determine where you actually place the burn. Having a 360 burn, if they're only laying on their back, doesn't make any sense and will take the viewer out of the story. So again, that's one of those things that you'll determine with the director prior to doing the makeup. I find the glasses move to be very funny in a comedy, where they take the glasses off and they have the imprint of the sunglasses on it. So that's why I'm showing this one, because this is one of my favorite funny moves. We're imagining that she was laying on her back So the bulk of the burn is going to be pretty straight on for this. There's a light burn all over, but the majority is focused kind of in the center and the higher points here. It fades out a bit, but we stay in the majority in the middle of the face to give this illusion. Can really add a lot into the lips here. And think also, this is a low-level sunburn. Even though this is fairly bright, sunburn can do first-degree burn, second-degree burn, third-degree burn, all those sorts of things. So depending on what level of sunburn you're meant to create for your character, think of your injury class that you've already taken. If it's a second-degree burn, you learn how you can add 3D elements into it to make it look like it's a blister wide open. You can add blistering in, you can add blood in different areas. It really just depends on how intense the look is meant to be, which again, that will be predetermined by the director. Think of too, if she was laying on her back, of course, we're going to continue on to the chest. If she was in a bathing suit that exposed a lot. Now, in this case, let's imagine that she maybe had a towel that she laid across her neck, but she forgot to cover her face. So in this sense, we're just going to fill in some onto the neck here. Again, this part being more opaque than the part underneath here will be. Continuing back for the realism of it, but focusing the majority of it on the inside. If you need to continue on to the arms, you can go ahead and continue on to the arms and the rest of the chest as well. But again, it will determine what they were wearing, how long they were in the sun, how they were laying in the sun. All those things will come into play as a factor of how you do the actual makeup. If they were laying flat on their back in a bikini, having that bikini on and then doing the same technique as we did with the sunglasses is how you would give that realistic effect. It would not make sense just to take an airbrush and spray one flat tone over the entire body and not have any discerning difference between the two. So keep that in mind as you plan. And we'll say her towel went right about there. But don't forget to continue it down if it needs to be continued down. Now, go ahead, put your sunglasses back on. Imagine that funny beach scene where she walks off the beach. She goes to take her sunglasses off, and it's revealed that she's sunburned.